Hi, my name's Steve and welcome to our channel and a new video on holistic assessment in vocational education. Let's jump straight in. Holistic assessment isn't a new thing, it's been around for many years. It's used in the healthcare system, where it'll look at the patient's well-being as well as their physical and mental health. Been used in general education. If you can cast your mind back to your school years, which for some of us is slightly harder than others, you'll remember when you did a piece of work, you'd probably spend a week doing one subject, and at the end of the week, you'd probably have a little test. You'd carry on for the whole term, and then your teacher would set another test, where they were holistically looking at everything you'd done in that term. And of course, come your end of year exam, there'll be a big holistic assessment on everything that you'd learnt. But also within the education setting now, because I am going back several years to my school days, it also looks at the child's well-being and their mental growth as well as their academic achievement. So holistic assessment in vocational education, what exactly is it? Let me start off with a definition and then a little diagram to show you exactly what I mean. Holistic assessment is gathering evidence for several assessment criteria in multiple units during a single assessment. So let's put that into plain English. What it's saying is we can look at our units, our learning outcomes and our assessment criteria and look for opportunities to link them together in a single holistic assessment. If the qualification structure, i.e. units, learning outcomes and assessment criteria is new to you, then I've written a blog post about it which explains how they interlink within a course, and I'll put that as a pinned comment so you can go down and have a read it at your leisure. But what it says is, within this definition, is that we can link together different assessment criteria across different units. So one assessment may be looking at 3 or 4, 5, 6 different units and linking together the assessment criteria in those. Let me show you in a little diagram I've done to give you a better, clearer understanding. Here you can see we have Unit 1. So that's just a single unit from any qualification. Now I'm going to introduce Unit 2. And can you see there's an overlap there between Unit 1 and Unit 2? So we could do all the assessment criteria in Unit 1, all the assessment criteria in Unit 2, and this bit in the middle, we can do assessment criteria from Unit 1 and Unit 2 all in one assessment. That would be an holistic assessment. But let's just take it one stage further because often it's across several units. So I'm going to introduce now Unit 3. So here you'll see there's the overlap between Unit 1 and Unit 3. That can be done holistically. There's the overlap between Unit 2 and Unit 3. That can be done holistically. But this little bit in the middle, that's our gold dust. That is assessment criteria for Units 1, Units 2 and Units 3 that we can all do with one single assessment. So that holistic assessment will cover assessment criteria for both Unit 1, Unit 2 and Unit 3. So that gives us an understanding of what holistic assessment is. What I'm going to do now is just demonstrate it in a fictitious course I've written. So you'll see as soon as you see the course, this is really made up. It's just something that I did just for a little bit of fun. So let's have a look at that now. So this course is called the Level 3 Award in Everything About Dogs. Unit 1 of that course is The Science of Wagging Tails. Unit 2 is Woofing. Unit 3 is Playing with Toys. Unit 4 is Big Cheesy Paws. Unit 5 is Belly Rubs, etc, etc. I could go on and on and on about my favourite furry friend. But because I know dogs, I do know that wagging of tails and woofing often go hand in hand. When I come home from work in the evening, I'll be greeted at the door by my best friend who will be woofing and wagging his tail. Let's take a break from this video for a moment. Please could you do me a huge favour by giving it a like. It means a lot to me and it makes me smile. Don't forget, if you enjoy this sort of content, please consider subscribing. That way you'll never miss out anything that we do in the future. And it's also important to hit the bell icon so you get notified as soon as a new video goes live. Thank you. Let's get back to the video. So let's have a look at those two units. Unit 1, Science of Wagging Tails, and Unit 2, Woofing. Unit 1 has 3 learning outcomes and 6 assessment criteria. Unit 2 also has 3 learning outcomes and 6 assessment criteria. So across our 2 units, we have 6 learning outcomes and 12 assessment criteria. I could assess each one of those assessment criteria individually and have 12 separate assessments. Well, that's really bad form and not something we should be doing. Slightly better would be to do each learning outcome on its own, and that would be 6 assessments. That's much better than our 12, but still it's 6 assessments we're going to put our learners through. So let's look at how we could assess those holistically. So we have Unit 1, the science of wagging tails, and Unit 2, woofing. By looking at my course, I've realised that learning outcome 1 of Unit 1 can be linked to learning outcome 1 of Unit 2. Also, learning outcome 2 and all its assessment criteria of Unit 1 links to the same in Unit 2. And finally, the assessment criteria in Unit 1 learning outcome 3 can be linked to the assessment criteria in learning outcome 3 of Unit 2. So now you can see, rather than doing all those assessments, either the 12 or the 6, I can do 3 holistic assessments and cover all my units, my learning outcomes and my assessment criteria. So that, in a nutshell, is holistic assessment. If you'd like to know more about holistic assessment and how it can benefit you as an assessor, we do have a CPD course written just on that subject. I'll give you a link in the description below, because in that course we go into much more depths of not only what holistic assessment is, but we'll also use live qualifications to show you how we can write an assessment plan to link these together holistically, how we can deliver the assessments with our learners, and finally, the problems and pitfalls you may come across when you first start using holistic assessment. That's all there is for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, if you have, give me the thumbs up. Makes me feel good. And also, don't forget to subscribe and you'll be notified of any new videos that come along. Goodbye.